Here it is. Woo! Alright. Yo, I want to be like ballistic right now and just pull some but I got roommates, my pastor. So, well, it's not really my roommate, he's more my landlord. Um, which I'll start off there. Went on a walk this morning, just thinking about last night was something. Because what happened was, I'm gonna set this sucker up. Maybe the lighting good. All right. What happened last night was I was about to start my work and I had this thought that I never have this thought, and so the fact that I had this thought made me stop and think about it, like really think about it, which also I don't do much. But I stopped and I asked myself, is this really what you want to do? Like digital marketing, um, click funnels, all that sort of stuff. Is this really what you want to do? Is this really what you want to do? And I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe it's not. Like I don't wake up and I'm like, click funnels, let's go, you know? And so I stopped and I realized, I was like, I got hooked on this when I was 18, when I had dropped out of college and when I was painting houses. Basically, I was ready for anything different. Like you could have come along and been like, hey, here's this thing, and I would have been like, yes, please, that's what I want. But I'm not where I was and who I was when I was 18. And yet I'm still pursuing this thing. And so it was hard for me because I was like, well, I've been pursuing this for so long and invested so much time and money in this. But is it really what I want? And so that's kind of crazy for me to think about all the thousands of dollars that I've invested in this, and I would say I've gotten my payout, if not just from the money, from the knowledge, but I know there's so much more potential, right? And so I went to bed asking myself that question, like, is this really what I want? Who do I really want to serve, you know? And I went to bed watching some different YouTube videos because I love these YouTube personalities, these attractive characters. Like, my heart just, that's what I want. And so a particular brand or person or product or service, I'm like, yeah, like I would love, like, it's so difficult for me because personality marketing, like, it's a gold mine. And obviously, like, you need the sales to sell that. Yes. But like it has a market and an upside that, like, it will just grow. And I know that. Like, I know that for a fact. And yet I don't want to get stuck in that. So it's this weird, like, back and forth. Like, I know personality marketing can turn into a billion-dollar company. Like, I know that's possible. And yet I don't know if I want to be like a CEO of a billion-dollar company. You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to sort all of this out, right? Like, whatever I want to do, I want to do big, and I want to master that. I don't want to dabble, and yet my personality like wants to dabble. And so I'm just trying to balance and learn all these different things. And so I woke up this morning and I realized I was like, okay, there's kind of three people that I want to help. I want to help people who are driven, who have the hunger. So I mostly see that in entrepreneurs. So that's why I'm attracted to entrepreneurs. But not just like greedy, selfish entrepreneurs. Generous and grateful. Those two things, man. Generous, grateful, and I should think of a word for hunger that starts with G. Gregorious. I don't know. Anyways, so I see that's why I want to work with entrepreneurs, because these guys are like, got the twitch in their eye, man. They got that burning fire. Like, even if they wanted to stop, we can't. We can't. So I wanna help them, as well as like they know, like, in order, like, you have to invest money. You know what I mean? And I think everybody's a buyer. But entrepreneurs, yeah, man, it's weird. Like, I wanna help people make more money, not just sell like a product. Which, maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I have all these desires, you know? I'm trying to like cram them all into one. Like, I want to learn and I want to grow from the people I work with. You know, I don't just want to be static. It's like, well, do I do that apart and then apply it? Like, do I read business books and go to business conferences and then apply that? But then also, like, relationships are the most important thing. So I want to do like a podcast, and I want to build relationships with people, and that will allow to learn, you know? Then, how does that fit together with like me and my personal brand? So maybe I have my portfolio of business things over here, and then my personal brand over here, and they weave together. But I want to become that attractive character, right? So entrepreneurs, I want to help that drive, that hunger, that willing to do whatever. The money, the time, the energy, the self-development, whatever it takes. I value that so much. But then I also want to help people who are addicted to porn. I've been there. I know how crippling it is. But most of the people I talk to in porn who are addicted to porn, just high schoolers, they are, they don't have the money, they don't have the time, you know, that sort of thing. So I'm like, I want to help you, but I can't help you unless you want to be helped, you know? And so I'm like racking my brain on this. And so I'm like, well, I help entrepreneurs who are addicted to porn, right? That makes sense. I'm like, yeah, that's a great hook. That's brilliant. It combines the best of those two worlds. But then I think about like the upside and like the market cap for entrepreneurs who are addicted to porn. It's like, it's very niche, right? And it can grow and it will grow, and that's what I want to grow. But then also thinking about like as a coaching program or as a course to go through, you know, like the actual delivery and the actual fulfillment, you know. So then I'm like, okay, entrepreneurs addicted to porn, but like the real thing that beats in my heart more than any of those other things are people who don't know Jesus. Like, that's where my heart beats. Like, I could have a $1 billion company, personality marketing. I could help hundreds of thousands of men overcome their pornography addiction. But if I am not helping people develop a deeper relationship with Jesus, my time is for naught. You know? And I even look at the lifestyle, and I look at the skill sets and the calling of an evangelist. I'm like, this is what I want. I look at some of the greatest evangelists, and the first one that comes to my top of my head, as for you I'm sure, is Billy Graham. And this man who traveled the world and met millions of people, from the poorest of the poor in times of catastrophe and natural disasters and disease, to the top of the top, the Pope, the President, world leaders. And his integrity, his reputation preceded him. He was not flawless, but he was respected by all. Even those who disagreed, he was respected by. And I just think about that, and I'm like, that's who I want to be. I want to be Billy Graham. I want to have that kind of influence, have that kind of reputation. Not for my glory, for my honor, but for God's glory, for God's honor. That when I stand before God, when I stand face before God, He says, Michael, I have given you this many talents. And I say, Father, I can stand with pride, I can stand with confidence. Not for my salvation, not saying my salvation is tied into my works, but I can say, Father, you entrusted me with this, and here is where I can proudly say that I can return that to Him, and hear the words, well done, good and faithful servant. Instead, on the flip side, say, Michael, I gave you this many talents. What have you done with those? And say, Father, I wasted my time watching YouTube videos, and I spent my money on things that pleased me, and I just spent my time hanging out with friends and doing things that I enjoyed. And just the pain and the shame that will be there. And so, man, I want to be Russell Brunson with the business. I want to be Tony Robbins with the way that he can change someone's life, just a conversation. And I want to be an evangelist. I want to be Billy Graham. And how he traveled, the breadth, the respect, the access that he had to leaders. just the influence that he had. So all these desires, all of them are like, they're similar, they're along the same line, but they're different. I'm like, I'll do them all, you know? It's like, ah. So I record that now just because that's what's going on through my head. With that being said, kind of the path that I'm wanting to take and planning to take is, right now, as much as I hate saying it, I gotta follow where the money is, and where the most potential for that is, and that is personality marketing. And so building a list, building an income around that, a reputation of, you know, being able to serve, help, lead people. And so that's going to be the main journey. And then alongside of that, branching off can be helping entrepreneurs with pornography addiction. There's no two ways around it. There's porn addiction and there's entrepreneurs, and I'm sure many of them, especially ones who are digital marketers like me, who are on the computer a lot like me, it's just where you go when you're stressed, when you're anxious, and I want to help break that. But that's having those relationships from personality marketing. And then ministry and evangelism. I mean, this business that I'm building, I want to be able to fuel the ministry. Maybe they tie in some way. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But I mean, skill set wise, I'm sure, as I'm learning to serve and have more of a public stage and content and all this type of thing, which gets me back to the original point, which I was talking about earlier, authenticity. I think that's been something that's been really, really difficult for me as I want to serve people. So I think, okay, the best way I can serve them is tell them what they want to hear. And that's not. The best way that I can serve someone is to be who God made me to be, and to be who God is making me to become. And so authenticity, I was just thinking about even for personality marketing. I'm like, hey man, this is like, I'll show you how to help people convert 30 to 40%. And it's like, I've never helped someone increase their conversion from 30 to 40%. And yet I know the idea is possible. I see other people doing it. And I feel this obligation to do it. You know what I mean? And so, how can I communicate that authentically? Just like straight up tell people, like, hey, I have an obligation. Like, there's other people who are more qualified to do this, but they're not doing it. And so I see that, and I want to step up, and I want to answer that call, and not have this like salesy 30-40%, like try and be someone I'm not, but be authentically. Like, I can't sit by and not say what I see. And I'm like I'm not, right now I'm not the most qualified. I'm going to be, because I'm going to talk about it more than anyone else. I'm going to talk about it longer, louder, more often than anyone else. But right now, you gotta start somewhere. And so, just allowing that authenticity, like, here I am in my pastor's house. Like, he's my landlord. That's just the authentic truth. And so, whatever I do, I want it to be filtered through authenticity. And if it's not, then just cut it. So, keep me honest on that. Keep me real. Love you guys. Take care.